Hello, what is up everyone? It's the Coding Kid back here. So today I'll be making a video on how to run and debug C++ files. So before you start anything, you're going to need a few things. The first thing you're going to need is a C++ extension. Search that up here, which is this one. It's the extension pack, so you can just install it. I already have it installed. It will install all these extensions, but the only thing that you care about is only this one right here. So as soon as you install that, you're gonna, on Windows, you're gonna need mingw installed to run C++ files. On Mac, there's Clang++, CLang++, and G++ already come installed, so you don't really need to install anything else. It also comes with the debugger as well, pre-installed. So that's an advantage of using Mac. Alright, as soon as you have that installed, you can make a folder. My folder, as you can see here, is called video test. And just a plain main.cpp file here. So I have it set up here, int n, cnn, cout is n. I put a breakpoint here for debugging that I'll show you after. So I'll show you how to run the program. So what you're gonna have to do is Command Shift P or Control Shift P. So you're gonna have to do tasks, configure tasks, and then you press enter. You can choose a compiler that you have. I'm gonna stick with G++. And on Windows it's also G++. So as you can see, it builds a tasks.json file here. And I don't need to change anything in here, so we can just leave that be for now. We will need to change this after, but I'll show you when the time comes. So we can close that file. Now what we're gonna have to do is do Command Shift P to open the command palette, do tasks, run task, and it says G++ build active debug file on my screen, that one that it's highlighted, because my compiler is G++, so I would press enter, and as you can see, it just compiled the files, and you can see there's like a new main.dysm and a main file. So now what we can do is we can just stop this terminal task by pressing any letter or key on your keyboard. So I'm just press K. Now we can I'm just gonna clear this, and now we can run the program by pressing run or Control Alt N, which I'm gonna do. So here we have to give an input as n, so I'm gonna give 8 as n. As you can see, it printed out n is 8. And there you go, that's simple C++ program running straight in VSCode. Now let's get into debug. So for Windows, if you install mingw comes with GDB as well. So you can follow along with GDB, while on Mac it comes pre-installed with LLDB, which comes pre-installed so you don't have to install anything. So now to debug, what you're gonna have to do is go to this debug thing, this debug icon. Usually it has a bug on it if you're on any other IDE, if you're gonna use any other IDE later. So you're gonna do run and debug, click that now. Now if you're on Windows, you're gonna click that, but I'm just not on Windows, so I'm gonna click GDB LLDB. That's for people on Mac and Linux. Since I'm using G++, I'm also gonna click G++ for this build and debug after file. As you can see, it won't do anything now. It will just open a launch.json. It'll just open that, but it'll take us into debug mode. But if we were to click that step over, just debug. I'm not going to go into debugging in depth this video. I'll make another video for that. It won't let us take input anywhere. So let's see, if you take 5, it just stops it. And if I press enter, it just like created a new line. So it won't let me do there. Debug console, it won't also let me do it there, or on problems or output. Well, we need to configure this a little, so I'm just gonna stop the program. We're gonna go into launch.json. So in launch.json, if you're on Windows, the only thing that you're gonna consider is this external console part right here. So you're gonna change this external console from false to true. There's also another one called stop at entry, which basically means that the debugger will stop as soon as it starts the program. We don't want that, so we're just gonna leave that to false. This mi mode LLDB, you don't need to change that. It will go to your default debugger. And now we can just save the file. I did Command S. We can close it. And that's for Windows. So now this is for Mac. So now if you're on Mac, there's an extra step that you have to do. To open your tasks.json file. So sometimes I had this problem myself. When I tried to debug this file, the terminal wouldn't, when I set external terminal to true, it would just open the terminal but wouldn't print anything on there. So here is where we go to github.com/Microsoft VSCode CPP tools issues 5079. This is where you have to do something extra. So if you scroll up, there's this post by Warden Na on May 2020. So that what you have to do is you just have to copy that code. So basically this code, what it does, it just makes a task to open the terminal, and it'll see what it does. So right after this, we're gonna put a comma, enter, and then paste it in and save it. This is for Mac. On Windows, you don't need to do this. So Mac users, you need to follow this. So now, if you do Command-Shift-P, run tasks, open terminal, what it should do is it should give you a pop-up like this that wants to control terminal. But since I already did this, as you can see, right here, is that I give automation in the automation tab. You see, I gave it code access to terminal, so I don't have to do anything. But when you're given that option, you have to click OK. And then you can just close the terminal from there, and then you can close task.json, launch.json, go into main.cpp, do build and debug active file, and it should open an external terminal. Okay, so it's this one. So what we do, let's give it 10. So if we press enter, oh wait, we haven't stepped over, so we need to step over first. As you can see, it made n equals 10 since I already entered 10 in the terminal. And if we step over that and go back into a terminal window, it prints out n is 10. And then if we want to stop the program, we can just do that. And there you have it. And that's how you run and debug C++ files in VS Code. Thank you everyone, and I'll see you in the next video.